Hey guys, welcome to the Money Zone. I'm your host, Folasade, the accountability account. Guys, I can kind of hear I feel like I'm getting hoarse or something. So that might be a good thing, guys. So I won't end up screaming on tonight's show. Or was I screaming in my mind because of my live or my content or whatever? I don't know. But my voice is gone, so just bear with me today. Hopefully I'm not getting sick, guys. But we have a lot to talk about. So if you guys are new to my live streams or new to my content, I'm Folasade, the accountability. You hear the word accountability accounting, guys. Okay, I'm the owner of Suncrest Financial, located here in Maryland. I help entrepreneurs and individuals save money on their taxes and build profitable, scalable, and sustainable businesses that they can in turn build generational wealth with. Okay, so guys, on today's show, we're going to first dive into a hot topic that is going on my social media on Instagram, and then we're going to go into how the IRS is using social media. Hopefully that you guys are doing much better. I must say, I think the money is really starting to dry out now. That's why y'all not being boastful and stuff on social media. But let's really be honest, guys. So I'm going to go to my social media really quick, guys, and share my screen. If you guys are watching me on Instagram or on any other social media platform and you want to see my screen, you want to head over to my YouTube, which is Folasade TV, so you guys can see my screen and can kind of see what we're talking about and hear it clearly as well. Okay, so guys, just to give you some context before I show the video, I did a live stream about, was it August 2022? I did a live stream like August 22, 2022. And I talked about how small businesses should not have to pay the same minimum wage as big businesses, how individuals should not get stuck on their 9 to 5, how you guys supposed to be striving for your best. And you guys know my team is going to chop out the video. Okay, so my team chopped out the video, which that's what they're supposed to do. And then I ended up sharing it on some of the other social media platforms, and I ended up getting ridiculed. When I tell you, dumb people tried to dog me out. So they was not even really focusing on the context of what I was talking about. They was more so focused on hey Xavier, focused on my looks, talk about my lips was dry and this and that, and all sorts of things that was irrelevant to the topic. Okay, and if you guys are new to me, I'm the type of person, I have very, very, very thick skin, guys. You talking about my hair, you talking about my face, you talking about my looks is not going to faze me. Okay, it's not going to stop me from spewing my clear message. You guys can bash me because you guys are like, oh, I'm going to get you fired. And then I told you guys, you cannot fire me. I own my own company. Well, nobody's going to work with you. And that hasn't happened either. So, yeah. So now we're here and my team reposted the video because I gave them permission. I wanted them to because Patrick Bet David talked about the same topic over the past month, right? So I ended up sharing the feed, and guys, I'm about to share it to you right now. And then we're going to talk about it.
Amazon. Walmart doesn't care. These companies don't care. Guess who does care? The small shop that's been passed down from generation to generation in the family for the last 80 years in Kansas or in Oklahoma. That guy's going to sit there and say, babe, we can't afford to pay these guys $20 an hour. I can't do it.
Can we be realistic right now? Why would we pay cashiers more than $15 an hour? And I'm sorry if you are a cashier. I'm sorry. But remember, that was supposed to be jobs for our teenagers, not jobs for you guys to retire in. Why do I have to say this to you guys? And please, I hope you guys don't take this message out of context. Why are you getting stuck? Did you go back to school? Did you go get a certificate? Did you read? Did you learn a new craft or something? What value? See, this is the thing. What value do you bring to the table to warrant someone to pay you more than $15 an hour? Remember, cashier jobs, Popeye's jobs were the jobs that we have to be honest with ourselves right now, was what we were doing in our summer jobs. Why did people get stuck doing the summer jobs? Why? Because you put money first, you put the check first, instead of realizing that, okay, I got to work, but let me go and get this certification. Let me go learn this. Let me show my boss this. Let me do this. Some of you guys are doing the bare minimum on your job, and you're waiting for the minimum wage to increase because you know that's the only way you're going to get a raise. Some of you guys are cheating businesses. Stop this mess. And Carl, I'm not yelling at you. This is just how I get hyped, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is me. Stop it. Everybody can go to college. I know that. But everybody can go on YouTube and learn something. Everybody can go to the library and pick up a book and read. And see, this is the thing. When you're in a company, they may not require you to have certain licenses and certificates to move on up if you do it well. And if that company don't want you to move up, you get out of there. Y'all don't owe nobody nothing to stay there. They don't have the place for you guys to move up. When you learn new skills and can't pay you more when you got more skills and stuff, you move out of there.
Guess who doesn't care if we...
All right, guys. So that's the video. And so I'm going to talk about that. And this is y'all time for everybody that got upset. If you guys have any type of ill feelings about what I said, this is your time. If you want to come live with me, I will put the StreamYard link in the YouTube, into the Facebook for you guys to come live with me. If you want to come live with me on Instagram, you also can come live with me to voice your opinion. As long as you don't scream and disrespect me, I'm willing to have this discussion. So let's first deep dive into where we are right now. So first things first, guys, we have to really put this in context. We are in the position we are in because of a myriad of issues. Over time, I have discussed these issues with you guys, okay? First things first, if we're going to start, let's start in the Black community. There is what, 14 million of us, or how many million of us, 14 million of us, or 40 million, whatever the amount is. It's only 2.4 million businesses. Out of that 2.4 million businesses, we only hire 100,000 of Black people. Well, we only employ up to 100,000 people. So first of all, the data shows that we have businesses, or we don't have enough businesses, but we're not growing our businesses enough to start really hiring employees at a rapid rate. So first things first, if we're going to really deep dive into all of this, we have to look at everything separately. And the first thing we need to look into is big businesses versus little businesses. When I talk, guys, I work primarily with small businesses, okay? I don't care about Walmart. I don't care about all of these Amazons and all of that. I care about the mom and pop down the street that's suffering. I care about the plumbing company that's family owned, okay? Those are my clients. Those are my people, okay? So when I'm talking, I'm not talking about Walmart and all of that. That's a whole different baby in itself. So first things first, when it comes down to employment law, which is payroll law, and which is your W-2, all of you guys that have jobs, that's what I mean. When I say payroll, when I say employment law, that's what I mean, right? All of the employees. I feel as though there should be separate laws, especially the minimum wage law, that is separately specific for small businesses and separately separate for big businesses. Here's why. If Amazon is a $1 trillion company, why should they have the same set of rules or have the same minimum requirement to pay somebody as a mom and pop business that only made $2.5 million? Answer me that. You guys can't answer me that. So first things first, if we really want to look at the discrepancies in the minimum wage, we first got to start with the system. The system is rigged. First of all, you shouldn't have big businesses paying the same amount minimum wage as the smaller businesses. Problem number one. Let the big businesses have their own set of rules. And those set of rules can be that they can pay y'all $25 an hour. That's the minimum. Perfect. And you know what that entails, whatever the job requirement is. And then the small business have their own set of rules. First of all, see, a lot of you, and let me be very clear on how I operate, because I've gotten a lot of followers, and some of you guys, you just comment on my more enticing content. You never post on the content when I'm teaching you guys or when I'm doing strategy. You guys always come out of the woodwork, and you guys can see it based on how many views and how many likes I get on all of my memes and the content that rattles feathers, right? You guys come out of the woodworks coming at me, not knowing my personality. And let me explain something to you guys. I'm the accountability accountant. I'm going to hold you accountable to your bullshit, period. A lot of you are not doing the work. A lot of you are not hustling. A lot of you are not getting additional skills. And the ones that are doing that, they're not complaining under my posts. The people that are out there still striving, still hustling, still pushing the pedal to the metal, they're not worried about my post. They're looking at my post like, yep, right. Yep, Folasade, you're right. That's why I'm working now. That's why I'm doing this certification now. That's why I'm doing this now. Xavier said, interesting, it will appear like we're penalizing growth, but I like the outer box theory. So the reality is, guys, first of all, we need to separate big business with small business, okay? Then, once we do that, then we also have to look at where we are and how we've gotten into this. I am the type of person, I know economics. I've been studying this business stuff. I've been in business. I've been studying economics. I've been doing this stuff for almost 2 decades. Like, is a decade 10 years? Oh, I suppose to know that. For over 20 years, I've been doing this, finance, accounting. I'm not new to this business thing, guys, okay? So let me explain something to you so we guys can come on the same accord, because I don't care if you guys agree or disagree with me. What you're not going to do is come to me with your narrow minds and post under my post and don't have a full context of what I'm talking about or what I'm referring to. So first of all, let's separate big business with small business. First of all, big business have a different minimum wage. Small business have a separate minimum wage. Okay? The second layer is, right now, guys, we need to do a full reset. Some of you guys do not understand economics and do not know that, forget about inflation. Because inflation is a small increment, right? The whole system is inflated. So I'm a firm believer that we have to actually reset. We have to actually reset the whole system. But I know if we reset the whole system, the negative impact that it will have, but we all kind of need a fresh start. And see, here's the issue. If we do a real reset, right, where everything go back to what y'all post. Oh yeah, I want $600 rent again. I want which y'all be posting. I want $600 rent again. I want $1,000 groceries for $100 again. This is what y'all posting, right? Because this is the reality. This is what y'all want. For us to get back to $600 rent, for us to get back to groceries being $100 and our cart is full, we have to have a full financial reset. We have to have a full financial reset. And so the full financial reset also will impact your minimum wage. So if the minimum wage right now for your state is 15, if we have that full financial reset, it's going to go back to the $7 or $6 that it was. But let me explain to you guys what the minimum wage is. The minimum wage, number one, there's a federal level minimum wage that's $7.25. And let me explain how I can talk about this, because one, I run an accounting firm and we process payroll. I've been processing payroll for over 15 years, okay? I process the forms to give to the IRS. I know this stuff, okay? So first things first, when we submit paperwork for each individual person that worked for you, right? It requires, one, for us to collect tax from you. Also, we have to pay a tax. We also have to pay your hourly rate as well. So in addition to that, we also now, these are the small businesses now. They have to pay you that minimum wage or whatever you're worth, right? But then again, now, since we want to have $600 rent, We want that, or we want, y'all see, y'all don't know what y'all really want. We don't know if we want the $600 rent or do we want a higher minimum wage. But if we have a higher minimum wage, guys, we're going to break the system. This is why we're here now, because everybody is being greedy, trying to take more, and it starts from the top of the system. But because you guys do not know how economics work, you're just like, oh, well, they can afford it. Not the small businesses. Yes, it's some mom and pop businesses that's making good money, but if you really look at the numbers, they're only be able to do that because of this or because of that or because of this. But the bigger companies like Walmart and all of them, they need their own set of rules. So now we're down to, we know they need a separate set of rules. The minimum wage, we need a financial reset, guys, but we cannot handle it. So now what do we do in this situation? But we cannot continuously keep paying anybody an exorbitant amount of money and a business be forced to pay you guys. See, this is what you guys have to understand about the minimum wage. The minimum wage explains the least amount that you can be paid per hour per state. The federal minimum wage is $7.25, and it varies per state, right? And most states are at least the $7.25 or higher. First of all, we have to ask ourselves mindset. Aren't you worth more than $7.25? Aren't you worth more than your state's $11.25 minimum wage? Because the reality is, guys, if a lot of you were striving to be your absolute best, the minimum wage wouldn't even pertain to you at all. And see, what you guys don't understand is this. If they're going to increase the minimum wage and all cashiers make a minimum of $15, do you know that every job that has a higher level above the cashier is going to also want an additional pay as well? It's going to be a complete ripple effect. And that's why we are here right now. We're here because one, and see, this is the thing, and because I am in the middle. I'm not a socialist, but I'm a capitalist, but I'm not a socialist, but I'm not a full breed capitalist. But I truly believe that no government should prevent the owner of a company from making the maximum amount that they can make legally. Because see, guys, we're in this box where a lot of you that are not striving for success, you guys are criticizing the rich people when they have the same 24 hours as you. But the difference is they're willing to sacrifice. Xavier said DC has one of the highest minimum wage, and look where that has gotten small businesses. It's none. It's no small businesses anymore, Xavier. And I was saying that when I was riding around downtown. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The small businesses are going to go extinct, not simply because of the minimum wage, but because the overall impact that small businesses face. Like, you guys are got to put your big boy hat on. You got to start thinking outside of the box when you really look at my content, especially my controversial content like this, that my team is only going to break out 2 minutes of it for you, which it's meant for you to go and look at the full video. The issue I have is that a lot of you guys are not doing your absolute best. Like, let's really be honest. Let's really be honest. You guys are not doing your best. We all have our up and days. Now, I'm not up on it every day, okay? Nobody is, and none of us should. God didn't make us like that to be every day, right? But a lot of you are just doing the bare minimum, and you jokingly say, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to clock in and do a little bit here and there, and that's it." You know what I mean? Not even thinking, "Oh my goodness, well, if my job..." See, this is the difference between how a lot of you operate and how I used to operate. Let me explain so you guys can get the context of what I mean about upward mobility and gaining more experience and knowledge. Whenever I had downtime at any job that I worked at prior to owning my own company, I used to read and learn their processes, make things better for the company. Okay, I used to do trainings. You guys even have it much easier because back then we didn't even have YouTube. We didn't have Udemy and all of these free sites where you can get all these trainings from. You guys got it easy. So when I had free time, I didn't BS on social media, which I didn't have it, but I'm not that type of person that's going to do that anyway. I didn't BS on social media. I didn't talk on the phone and look at clothes and shop and look at magazines and BS. That's what I did when I was at those jobs. I listened, I learned, and I grew. And what I did was every job that I had any downtime, I had that same set of rules. I don't care if it was when I was working at the bingo hall, being a cashier. A lot of you guys don't even notice. And I don't think I even told any of you guys this. I used to be a cashier at a bingo hall. I used to work for tips at a bingo hall. Okay. I used to do concierge. You know how like you go into those luxury apartment buildings? I used to be at the front desk and I was the best at everything I did. I was the best concierge. Every place I went to, they wanted to hire me. Every place. And I could have commanded any amount of money I wanted because I was the absolute best. Just not even attempting to do anything extra. Well, guess what? I'm not going to sleep on the job. Or I took my quick little nap. I got up. Let me organize the coffee. Let me restock this. Oh, the dogs are coming down. Let me go ahead and figure out the doggy treats. Oh, okay. The mail's there. Let me go ahead and organize the mail. Oh, this person got this. I used to remember that. I was amazing across the board. And you guys can be amazing across the board too. But you guys are not trying. So instead of you guys trying, you're commenting on my post, giving me some BS excuse as to why you are waiting for the minimum wage to increase for you now to get a pay increase. I don't go for excuses. I can bring my babies down. They will tell you I don't do excuses. And this is even for my children. I don't do excuses. So I'm not going to accept no excuses from nobody. Then somebody said, oh, well, what about the people that have degrees that don't have a job and all of this stuff? Well, start a business. What are we waiting for? You guys have it so easy. When I started my company Brennis was born in 2012. I started my company August 26, 2011. Yeah, 2011. Times were different. You had to have a brick and mortar. You had to have all of this. You had to do all this excessive marketing. You had to sit with the big boys. You had to wear the fancy suits. You didn't have a biz. They didn't respect you. They didn't have all of this. I was so young coming into the business. I was like, 23 coming out. It was hard. I didn't fret it though. I kept going to networking events. I joined BNI. I joined other organizations. I networked. I connected. I did speaking engagements. I did everything I possibly can. Then when social media popped, I instantly came on social media and started live streaming. And instantly started creating content. And instantly started teaching you guys. I didn't make no excuses. And during that process, guess what? I told you guys this. I almost lost my house. My car was repossessed. You know, my bank, if you're going through that, then you know your bank account negative. I was going through all of that to build my company. So I'm the type of person, guys, do not come to my page with your sorrow and your excuses. Now, yes, some of you guys have disabilities. I'm not talking to you. Some of you guys have, you've been whatever, like you destitute or whatever. I'm not talking to you, but the person that has a normal shape, a normal body, healthy, I'm talking to you. Get up off of yourself and dance to your own music. Get up off of yourself, hey, and dance till you get busy. I don't even know. Okay, dance until you get ready. Well, I want you guys to dance to your own tune. Dance to your own tune, your own beat. And that requires you guys to acquire a set of skills that is almost irreplaceable. And guys, do not fall for that every person is replaceable. As a business person, yes, we can always fire you, but it's always when they're the best of the best, it's hard. We end up losing big bank, big money. And we end up regretting it. Almost some of us might reach back out to that person and be like, can you come back? You know? But in the end, you have a skill set that you can go anywhere else and do. Or you now can offer those services to those same type of businesses. Like, guys, stop putting limitations on yourself. A lot of you say, well, it's hard for me I don't want to start a business. I don't want to do this. Everybody not an entrepreneur. Guys, let's define business first. This is the problem we're having. You don't have to aspire to be Jeff Bezos. You don't have to aspire to be the biggest in your industry. Some of you can get, depending on which skill set you have, some of you guys can have 10 clients per month that will pay you $100,000 a year. You pay your taxes, and you and your family live off that $80,000. Then you might even, if you pay enough tax, you might end up getting a refund back. You maximize your taxes that you use your house and all of that stuff. You might end up getting a refund back. You don't have to have a big business. It could just be you. It could just be you and your spouse. You guys are really, sometimes you overthink it, and then you belittle yourselves. You discredit your ability. Because a lot of you are made for greatness, but you're on social media and you're getting stuck. And instead of you going out and listening to my message and say, because I don't care if you call me a B or that chick, whatever, I don't care, whatever negative you call me. If that's going to make you get up off of yourself and go and hustle, I will take it. You can say, oh, that is not going to be cursing me out tomorrow. Okay, I'm happy. You can call me that B and I'll take it. And I want you to go and hustle hard. Because a lot of you guys are just making so many sad excuses. And no, running a business is not easy. But guess what? Getting up every day, going to work for a company that you do not like, that you know they don't appreciate you, you don't have the flexibility that you want, it's all so hard. What they say, you got to pick your heart. And yes, guys, some of you, it might be too late because you have too many expenses. See, this is the thing, guys. See, some of you guys say it's too late because you're thinking about age. But because I've been dealing in this money game for so long, it's not too late for your age. You know what's too late? Because you have so many expenses that you're not willing to cut back to get started with that business and give yourself a year and a half to get it going, 2 years to get it going. So you're not willing to sacrifice. Oh, yes, Xavier. Yes, I wish you would, Joy. You don't want to sacrifice for it. That don't mean quit your job. That means maybe when you leave your job at 5, you start something in the evening. And then this is for, especially for people that have a set of skill set. And then listen, here's my other thing that I said. A lot of you guys go and work for these other big companies and you get stuck at that minimum wage, right? Why didn't you go work for the small business in your community? Go and help them. Go and help them grow their business to the next level. And then at least you might be 5th in command. Listen, if my company make it to 50 million, 30 million, whatever, my team right now will be 1st in command of all of their positions. And see, I have a profit sharing agreement with my team. Okay? So once I get the rest of my money back out that I've invested into the company, then we're going to kick the profit sharing, right? And the profit sharing says anything above my salary, their salary, everything per month, they get a percentage of it, okay? And it depends on how long they've been with the firm and everything, right? So guess what? This is small business. Nobody didn't believe in me, but they did. They worked with me. They sacrificed with me. They went through my mistakes of growing. So why wouldn't they be 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th in command? But you guys go rather work at a big corporation and they don't even know your name. See, a lot of the reason why we're not successful in the Black community is because we're not being a community. There's no community. Nobody is helping each other out anymore. Everybody have their own greedy, personal agenda, guys. And we're not going to get anywhere if we continue on that trajectory. Look, we have destroyed everything that our ancestors have worked hard for. Yes, we've had issues with them burning our stuff down and all of that. So don't even say nothing. Oh, but hey, you forgot about Tulsa. You forgot. No, I know history. Okay, I may not remember the banks, all the banks' names that were burnt down and all the towns that were burnt down. I know, but what I'm trying to say is that even with that experience, they still hustle hard and they still save and they still did the daggone thing and didn't make excuses. But here we go with the lamp of luxury with the internet, Facebook, YouTube, our own websites. We can create our own brands and make millions of dollars just being ourselves nowadays. And you guys are coming on my page fussing about why they should increase the minimum wage when you're in a day and age of the internet and you can go out and make $1 million in the next year if you put your mind to it. So leave me out of your excuses. The reality is because you don't know economics, you don't know the impact that increase in the minimum wage have on small businesses. Because see, the government have not definitively forced the states to create two separate minimum wages that only impact big businesses. So this is why now, as one of my fellow accountants, Xavier, said, in DC, you don't see any small businesses. And guess what? The rest of them are getting kicked out as we speak right now because there's no community, no support. But y'all on social media commenting on my post. And I don't mind you guys commenting. And I don't mind you guys disagreeing with me, right? But the reality is, if you don't understand money and economics, stay off of these topics that I'm talking about like this. Because I warned you guys 2 years ago that every big store was going to have self-checkout and have AI, and they're going to start cutting you guys off. And I told you why. See, you forgot. They hear the conversations too. Remember, a lot of companies see y'all on camera at the jobs for all of these years doing the bare minimum, barely doing anything. Y'all lunching, doing lunchtime, doing whatever, gossiping during the daytime, lollygagging. Okay, y'all lollygagging, right? They see it. And guess what? They thought, oh my gosh, these people are wasting my money. I can be putting the money here. I could be doing this. Let me figure out a solution. Yep, Xavier said lobbyists make sure there's never going to be a separate set of requirements. So guys, we are literally have to be honest with ourselves right now. You guys are asking for something. You shouldn't even have to be asking for anything in this day and time. You guys should actually be trying to go and work. Like my team never have to ask for a raise. Ask them. They don't. I see the level of work. If they're doing well, I just give them a raise. One of my team members didn't get a raise for like 2 to 3 years, and I felt bad. And I told her, I said, "Hey, you're like the only team member that haven't gotten a raise. When are you gonna, show up and show out? You're not showing me that you want more. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? Like soon, I want us to be able to have other people under you. What are you going to do?" And guess what? She got a raise like 2 months ago, and it took 2 years, but she got it. But see, this is the thing, guys. One trick about life, whatever you guys learn on the job, they can never take that knowledge from you. You will always be able to put it on your resume. So what are you guys doing a bare minimum? Now, I'm not saying try to be the bestie and do all extra. Nope, I never did that. Never did extra. I just did me, which was my best. And to be able to do that, and by me doing that, allowed me to be in this position. I wouldn't have been able to sustain business at all, guys, if I didn't learn as much as I learned working for all of those companies I worked for. If I didn't have a certain work ethic before I started my company, I would have failed. It's a certain organization. It was a certain amount of knowledge that I grasped from them, and systems and processes and things like that I implemented that And when I work with my dad, same thing. All that knowledge, I implement it into my own business. You guys can do the exact same thing. Every job that you're on is a new set of knowledge that you guys can now ask for a higher pay for. But you guys are fussing about the minimum wage. Value. This is why we're in the financial issue we're in now in the US. Is because we didn't really base things off value, what it's actually really worth. From an accountant standpoint, we were making estimates. We were making projections. We made a lot of financial mistakes globally, and especially the United States. What I see, I thought about this earlier when I was going live. Before I went live, I was like, well, dang, what if they put a cap on business owners and say the CEO can't make 50 million? The CEO can't, do this. So nonprofits, if you guys don't know this, if you guys own a nonprofit, the maximum amount of income that you can take per year on your nonprofit is $1 million. So the government already limited nonprofits, right? But for corporations and your own small business, your LLC, the government say you could pay your salary however way you want. It could be millions, right? They haven't put any regulations on it. And I don't feel like they should. Is it fair that I'm willing to go out and work 18 hours a day, don't take no for an answer, put in the work, almost lose my house, do this, sleep on the street, do this, all because remember, a lot of the successful people that you know didn't just have it easy. They didn't have it easy. They went through a lot, but you guys don't want to sacrifice. You guys don't want to sacrifice. So what questions do you guys have? And I'm going to read a few of the comments from the Instagram post so I can respond to some of the comments accordingly. Let me share my screen. Let me see. I accepted it, Xavier. I don't know what's going on. It's not allowing me to accept the. Oh, there you go. Hey, Xavier, how are you?
I am doing good. My daughter told me that I can join without having my face on. I'm like, oh, let's do it.
Oh, we kind of old school now. Tell her thank you. I didn't even think about that either myself.
I appreciate it. You are dropping so many gems. And for a lot of people that don't know, we have more connection. Me, you, and our businesses are so much alike. But we just, I started Exiting Financial Advising LLC in 2010, 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, we've both been in the same industry, accounting, finance, economics, taxes, for 2 decades.
Yeah.
And then, so you're dropping so much knowledge, and I'm hoping that your listeners really listen. My followers definitely check her out. She's dropping so many gems. And, I have to take that stance back because I know how hard it is to hire our own kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how hard it is for small businesses to be successful as an entrepreneur myself. So no, I just had to make sure that, I share that love with you because, you're killing it.
Thank you, Xavier. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support always. So, guys, if you don't know, Xavier is an accountant in the DMV as well. So I'm in Maryland. He's in DC. And see how, with industries, you guys don't have to compete. Me and Xavier pick each other brains, send each other referrals. You guys don't have to compete. Everybody have a set of skills that we are good at, and we bounce off each other. So, Xavier, I appreciate you.
No problem. And like I said, when you were talking about the minimum wage, it again, I guess the concept is people don't understand how margins work in a business, right? And when you talk about your margins, your gross margin, your profit margins, when you start talking about margins in the business, you have to remember that your cost of paying an employee X contributes to what that margin is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, everybody you can look me up. It doesn't matter. Yes, I work for DC government. Yes, I'm there. I see it day in and day out. But when you tell a business what they're going to pay their employees, you're automatically cutting into their margins.
Mm-hmm.
And when you cut into their margins, the business owner only has two options: either reduce the hours of that staff or increase their prices. But that's difficult for a small business to do, right?
Yep.
It's difficult because they have to, one, be as competitive as the big box retailers. They have to be as competitive as Joe Smo down the street that's doing it for half the price.
Yep.
You got to be competitive with people that's not hiring the staff.
Yep.
You got people that's in business cutting corners. So it's very interesting to hear the two set of requirements big business should have for minimum wage versus small businesses. I think it's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I just think lobbyists would never let it happen. But it's an interesting concept because how do we level the playing field?
Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciate you, Xavier, because I was about to go into that, the margins part. But first, I got to get them riled up regarding this. And then because they don't look at the numbers, so they don't see it. That's why I comment on one of my posts saying, I see the numbers. And see, as a business person, we pay our staff before we pay ourselves. Unbeknownst to y'all, we pay our staff first. Especially when you're a good business person. You pay your staff first, then you take your salary. So if things are slow, the owner is going to have to sacrifice their pay or let somebody go.
Yeah. And that's what happens. That's in the last decade. That's what DC is transformed to. This transformed from many mom and pop stores to very little mom and pop stores in DC. I mean, the DC economics is so crazy that they were able to drive out Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart was on 8th Street, right?
It didn't even last 10 years. I don't think it's like, what, 5 years, 4 years?
We're talking about a conglomerate. We're talking about one of the biggest companies in the S&P 500. Billions. And DC drove Walmart out. How does a city, because it's not even a state, how does a city do that? The economics don't make sense in the city. And it's hard for small businesses to thrive in this city. I have, one of my clients, good friend, Kitchen Cray, Chef JR. He got drove off of 8th Street.
Yep.
Small business. Had to shut it down. These things are real, and people need to wake up and understand that. Because when you're not putting that same effort into the small businesses that you do for the big businesses, we vanish.
Yep.
We go away. And we're the same businesses that want to come to your games, support your charity events, do things for your family. We're there. Not to see
CEO Walmart, no. Sending you flowers and stuff, and yeah.
What they got? They got the little nice, we're going to give you $10,000 for being. You know the reason why the corporations give back to the small businesses is because they know they're crushing them.
Yeah.
They have all these grants, all these, competitions for small businesses to get money. FedEx, all of these companies have all of these things that they're giving for small businesses. And they're not really giving a lot. They only choose like 3 or 4 people when they're giving money away, right?
Yeah.
But they have all these things because they're crushing small businesses just being
on the back end. So guys, what we're referring to is that the bigger companies, and that's what I said in my message in response to somebody, the bigger companies are crushing the smaller businesses on the back end. You guys are not seeing it. When it comes down to them negotiating a contract with the smaller business can barely pay themselves with that contract. I see it often with even government contracts when they have to have the sub, when they have to have the black sub or the small prime, a small subcontractor as prime. I see it often. And so the common thread is that, guys, we have to really start understanding how the system is working. You guys just coming up with this internet, yeah, we need this, and you're not even understanding the impact of it. Now, I don't believe that we have to control what the CEO is making, because the reality is you cannot that's now we're in a communist country then. Because if you tell me, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, if you tell me that you gotta cap my salary at $1 million, and I know based on my brand that I bought in $100 million for my company, I will never work again. I will never work again. If you're going to say the government should force Jeff Bezos and all of these billionaires to cap their salary, then the reality is they might just close down their businesses. And then how many employees they're going to be suffering? See, I don't think you guys understand this. So now if I said the government forced me, all my staff would be out of a job. Or if they limit me, all my staff would be out of a job. Because that's why we start businesses, to be in control in a formal fashion. So thank you, Xavier. I'm about to go in and do my last little closing remarks. I don't know how to end the live.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Again, now that the tax season is officially over, right?
Yes.
I've been like, oh, I wish I could do something on social media. I'd be too tired.
Xavier, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't even know how other these so-called like people do it. Like I ask my team all the time, like they must have had no clients, Xavier. How they online like that? Because you think this is once a week for me. I used to be, when I first started the firm, I used to be able to go live like in between my meetings but I was always real busy. But I'm like, are these people just online all day like this? Y'all don't have no clients. They're not busy.
Look, kudos to you and your team.
Yeah.
Y'all putting it out there.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
Thank you, Xavier. We appreciate you. Talk to you later. Tell your wife I said hi.
Will do.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. So I'm about to get ready to close out a little bit. Xavier touched on a major point that I was going to dive into, guys, too, was the margins. And so let me get a piece of paper really quick so we can put this in context, guys, because I like for you guys to fully understand everything. I don't know. Let me see if I can maybe do like one of them scroll off whiteboards or something. But let me get a piece of paper, guys. Really quick. Hold on. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do our practical moment right now. Let's say the business owner, we're talking about small business owners, guys. Okay, let's say the small business. Oh my goodness. Let me make sure I got my calculator. Y'all may have to help me out. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's say the small business owner makes $50,000 per month, right? Let's see if you guys can see it. Okay, 50,000. All right. Let's say if their rent, okay, for their spot is $5,500. So what we're about to do, guys, is show you what we mean by margins, what we mean by what's left over, things like that. Okay. And so the $5,500. Okay. So now let's say, for example, the payroll expenses for that company is $20,000. Okay. So we got rent, and then we got payroll. And then the payroll taxes on that $20,000, let's say it's $5,000. So that's taxes. This is not taxes for the IRS. This is just taxes for having the employees, right? All right. So then we also have, let's say we got to spend $1,000 on supplies. These are cost of goods sold. This is your product that you buy to sell and all of that stuff, your supplies. Or if you're in a business like me, this might be like your equipment, your softwares and stuff like that, your apps and things you use, right? Okay, and then now, so the owner want to take his little $3,000. Let's say the owner pay $5,000 too, right? Owner, $5,000, right? So let's just go ahead and start right there. So we're going to do 50,000 on the calculator, subtract out the 5,500 in rent, subtract out the 20,000 in payroll, subtract out the 5,000 in payroll taxes, subtract out the 1,000 in supplies, and we're going to subtract out the 5,000. Uh-oh, did I do something wrong, guys? Hold on. Let me just add this up really quick. Hold on. Look. Okay, so that means after all of these expenses right now, the company, if these are only the expenses, if these are the only expenses of the company, right? And this is rare. But in this day and time, guys, with this internet platform, you guys can end up doing business a lot easier than what we used to do. Okay. So we got the rent, payroll, supplies, taxes, and the owner's pay. So that leaves the business with, let's say, $13,500. Now, what if the business owner ended up getting a loan and the business owner needed to pay $5,000 for the loan? Okay. What if the business now have not only a loan, but they end up having to pay back taxes? So they still got back tax amount. So guys, the reason I'm showing you this is because there's a lot involved when it comes down to making business decisions and ultimately what a business, especially a small business, pay a person. It's not just like money grow out on trees. We literally have to go and acquire a client. We got to acquire a new business. We got to sell product and stuff just to pay people. So the business owner, whoever's the brand, the initial force of making money is forced to go out and attract all this money to pay a team. And you guys don't know what those margins are for that company if you don't know the numbers. So I don't, as a business person, think that the minimum wage should be increased. Shoot the messenger. I don't. I think that we all should show our value. And then based on the value that you bring to the company, if you're working with a good company, a sustainable company, a growing company, they're going to see what you're doing. And they're going to increase your pay, or you're going to have to go to them and say, hey, is there any way you can increase my pay? This is what I'm offering. This is what I'm doing additional, blase, blase, blase. And I said this in one of my live streams about maybe 3 weeks ago. A lot of you guys just accepted the 50,000 or accepted the 40,000, and you didn't tell the company that you have this skill, you didn't have this skill, you have this skill. You didn't tell them that. So you can get additional pay. You just went along with it. It was like, okay, I'll take it. It fit. That's what I wanted, not knowing you were worth more. So guys, you have to understand how money works. As a business person, do you guys think that Walmart just became Walmart? The father started the company and they built it from one store to the next store to the third store. And you guys can do the same thing. But instead of you guys doing the same thing, you coming on live fussing with me. You coming on live fussing at me. All right, so one of the next comments says, so inflation isn't a factor. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Inflation is what caused this. If you guys don't know this, inflation has always been lingering here forever. Every year, some economists, I don't know who started this a long time ago, okay? Some economists came up with this bright idea that every year we need to add on X amount of dollars onto our product, our gross domestic product, and the value and the dollar or whatever. So every year, guys, we are impacted by inflation. That's why the Social Security increase. That's why your interest rates with the IRS increase. That's why you guys get your tax credits increase every year due to inflation. So you guys thought we were just impacted by inflation now? No, inflation is the cause of this because it gave them excuse to increase the value of things without any ramifications for why it's increasing the value. You guys have saw those Instagram posts, what the value was of a house in 1933 compared to that. The increase is because of inflation. And then also a lot of these laws, the deregulation of a lot of laws and things that have happened over the years. So we've been manipulating value and the dollar for years. And this is why we are here in financial ruins. So where we are right now, this may take a very radical approach to things, but I really think we got to kick it in high gear. The hustlers got to continue to keep hustling. All you lazy people, come and work for a hustler and help them, okay? go and help them, go help the hustlers so we can start scaling and growing. Why am I saying this? Is because we need more businesses. Walmart, Tesla, SpaceX, all of these big companies cannot sustain this economy. How many more jobs are they going to create? That's why we're in this mess. You guys have to start creating too. So if you want to actually do something, go and start your business. And it don't cost a lot now to start a business. Like I said, you guys are very blessed to start companies now. You have everything at your fingertips. But instead of you guys taking advantage, you're posting on people's posts. All right, so the next comment said, she's speaking straight facts. Truth of the matter is people with degrees are working those jobs because they couldn't find. Okay, let me find the original comment. Somebody said, please tell me, how would you get your groceries at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday if all the teenagers are in school? Okay. I think what that question is that, well, who would work? You guys forgot that seniors get out of school at 11 o'clock. Y'all forgot we had summer jobs and those where we get the work credit for work, and the teenagers will go to their jobs, the seniors will go to their jobs. That means the store can't open until 11 o'clock. That's it. But does that mean I would rather for a store, one big box store, to not open until 11 o'clock than to have a whole generation of people that are getting stuck? Because we're making an excuse that, oh, well, who's going to do the job during the day? When did we really shop during the day? We normally shopped on the weekend. That's why we in the position we in. We shopping too much. So, like, for example, today I did my shopping, and it's so funny. I did shop in the day and afternoon. I did shop in the day and afternoon, but guess what? Guess who was there? All senior citizens. And see, that's the thing. It could be senior citizens or teenagers. But all of us that's in between them ages, we in our prime, y'all. We supposed to be making the best. The senior citizens out there because they enjoy it. They're like, hi, and they want peace. They just want an easy thing, something that they can just be repetitive and just do. But us at our prime age, not to say you guys have to strive to be the greatest and the biggest. No, just be your best. And I know your best is not getting stuck. And I know it. God did not make us like that, guys. Do not fall for that you're not great. All of us can't be that. Don't fall for that. My mother always told me all of us are destined for greatness. It's just that some of us do not realize it's our destiny to be great. So the problem is you guys do not realize it is your destiny to be great. But you've been told that you can't be great. You've been told that you can't own a business. You've been told that it can't be, everybody can't do it. Now, you may not be able to do it the same way Joe did or Carissa did, but you could do it your way. Okay? All right. So that's the thing, guys. With the $15 an hour, it seems like nobody don't have any retractions. Any of you guys have anything to say? I'm live now. Let me stop the live on Instagram and see if they come in, because that's why because we at that point. So somebody commented, said, my customer service is impeccable. I'm worth it. I'm a senior 66 and have been in management for over 30 years, but not now. It's a different breed out here. You pay for what I give, which is excellent. See, I think you guys have to understand, like, okay, so we got some more comments on the post. Instead of y'all commenting, come on a live stream. Why are y'all commenting? Come on a live stream. And let's have a real dialogue, because the reality is, guys, some of you sound so crazy. Let me tell them to come on a live stream. Because the reality is y'all making excuses. Just because you got impeccable service, that does not mean that the company have to pay you more. Why are we in this? We are in this. See, it's a difference between what your worth is and then forcing somebody to pay you what your worth is.